time for another tabletop TBR. That is the TBR game that I created to help me pick the books to be read for the current month. It is July. Yeah, it is July and I'm excited to get into it, so let's do this. Okay, let's see what our bonus points will be. LGBTQIA, busy busy, worth more when completed, current year, BIPOC, fantasy, goal getter, standalone, busy busy, and thriller. Let's start. Okay, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Regular prompt. Shortest book on my TBR. All right, for shortest book on my TBR, I decided to go with The Wonderful O by James Thurber. So it looks like this is a children's story where we have a character who is not a fan of the letter O after his mother got wedged into a porthole and they couldn't pull her in, which meant that they had to push her out. And when he goes to this little island, it sounds like he takes over and purges it of the letter O. So once we get to that point, the story, I believe, is going to try and remove the word O from things. I'm not sure. But I was looking into stories that play with letters and the removal of letters and how that works. And this is one of those that came up. There's a specific term for it that I wanted to do a video about, but my mind is blanking. So just trust me. At only 76 pages, so this should be a pretty quick read, which I kind of need because I've been falling behind on my TBR. Just saying. We're gonna have a video about that soon. I mean, technically it's the past, but you'll be seeing it in the anyway. Next one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get a point plus we get to pull. So this instead we get to swap one of our prompts for a wild card. Okay, we do get a regular, oh, we moved forward. I didn't notice. Okay, so we get another one of these. Move 2 spaces. We have a bunch of these, so we should use them this round. And then I do have to roll again so we can get our prompt. Okay, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Okay, let's just keep going. I'm gonna use this move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and then we have to roll again. It's all on the same round. Oh, that was scary. Okay, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, we are getting so lucky. Okay, another prompt. A book with blank number of words in the title, and then we will roll a book with 2. A book with 2 words in the title. Okay. Okay, so for this one, I am going with Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. I ended up getting this as a Fairy Loot subscription box pick a long time ago, and I was kind of like meh about it, but I do want to get around to actually reading a lot of my subscription my subscription box books, to see if they're worth it. And so it's about time that I pick this bad boy up. It says, what's right is right. Sonia knows this slogan. She lived by it for most of her life, for decades. Everyone in the Seattle, Portland, megalopolis, hate that, megalopolis lived under it, as well as constant surveillance in the form of the Insight, an ocular implant that tracked every word and every action, rewarding or punishing by a rigid moral code set forth by the delegation. Okay, sounds like there was a revolution and the delegation fell, and its most valuable members were locked in prison on the outskirts of the city. Everyone else, now free from the Insight's monitoring, went on with their lives. So they were like, we ain't having this, no sirree. But of course, we have our main character who is a former poster girl for the delegation, and after being in prison for 10 years, an old enemy comes to her with a deal. Find a missing girl who was stolen from her parents by the old regime and earn her freedom. Dystopian mystery that explores the expanding role of surveillance on society and an inescapable reality that we welcome all too easy. The commentary is going to be strong in this one. Like, I can tell already. because that is the kind of topic that we're already out here like, gotta keep an eye on that. All right. Okay, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Regular prompt. A book published in 2021. Okay, I feel like I keep getting this prompt and it's been a struggle bus. I updated it in the files where instead of a very specific year, it's like in the last year or the year before, you know, anytime before the year before last or whatever. So I decided instead of trying to hunt down another book published in 2021, I'm gonna use my do this instead and treat it as a wild card, and I'm gonna go with The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. This is a 2024 release, so really taking advantage of that wild. Signed exclusive edition. I actually think this is a Waterstones edition. I don't know. But it says there is a coast. Let's pretend that I can read. Let's just pretend, y'all. Okay, there is a cost to survival. Violet Everly. Hold up. It's supposed to say there is a cost to survival, Violet Everly. It's just a matter of fine-tuning the price. Instead, I was putting the focus on the wrong part of the sentence because I think the punctuation got a little lost in the stars and I got confused. Let's get back to it. For centuries, Everlys have seen their brightest and best disappear, taken as punishment for a crime no one remembers, for a purpose no one understands. Their torment is a woman named Penelope who never ages, never grows sick, and never forgives a debt. 10 years ago, Violet Everly's mother left to break the curse and never returned. Now Violet must find her mother, or she will be taken in her place. Her hunt leads her into a seductive magical underworld of power-hungry scholars, fickle gods, and monsters bent on revenge, and into the path of Penelope's quiet assistant, Alexander, who she knows cannot be trusted, and yet to who she finds herself undeniably drawn. Tied to a very literal deadline, Violet will travel to the edge of the world to find her mother and the key to the City of Stardust, where the Everly story began. Okay, that sounds fire. Like, that's so interesting. We've got a little bit of enemies to lovers, possibly. We definitely have a magical adventure. We have some intrigue. We have a mystery. Yeah, I'm super excited about this one. Okay. Next one. Another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get a point plus one of these, which is a let's re-roll that. Okay. We need a prompt. Another 8. Jeez, I'm just like rolling the same things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Regular prompt. Oh, I love this one. A booktuber's favorite. All right, taking out my trusty, dusty laptop. And we are going to find a booktuber's favorite that is currently on my TBR that I want to read, my physical TBR. So I'm looking for something that I physically own. I want to read this bad to the bone. I want to read that too. Okay, I guess the book Leo has the most books that I want to read that I physically own. Oh, ooh, yes. Alright, so for booktuber's favorite, I'm going to go with The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshni Chokshi. And this one I ended up getting a recommendation from the book Leo, who did this really fun categorization for her favorite books of 2023, and this ended up in the category Best Vibes. So let's hear what she has to say about this book.
Let me describe to you the vibes. Huge, elaborate mansions that feel like a lover from fairy tales could get lost in every room. Stories hidden in every drawer and folklore bursting from the cracks in the walls. Fairies with sharp words looming outside the gates. Invisible, but you know they're there. Or are they? Gold threaded fabrics, expensive cocktails spilling on the floor, long dining tables filled with food and candles with a lover on each side of it, and secrets. So many secrets and keys and locked doors. But at its heart, this story really is about a toxic friendship between two girls and how that kind of unfolds over the years, giving this book a kind of gripping, hold your breath kind of tension. Read this if you would like to read a book that is basically just one big question mark.
All right, perfect. So yes, I've had this on my shelf for a while. This is one of the 24 books that I want to read in 2024. So I'm really glad that I was able to find somebody who had this as one of their favorites and gave a good review. I love vibes in books, so I'm totally here for it. I've heard some like mixed things about it, but I also really love kind of like gothic storytelling. She's the mysterious heiress of a fortune, and to get married, he promised that he wouldn't go poking in her past, but for some reason they end up having to go to her family home, and obviously it becomes harder and harder for him not to do that. So yeah, pretty interested in seeing where it takes me and seeing if it's something that I end up actually enjoying. Okay. 4. Should we re-roll that or just use spaces to get further? 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe if we use my +1, we can get here. So that's 5. We will get one of these back. Let's re-roll that. We are racking up in those. And then we still have to roll to get the prompt. So we sufficiently made some progress. So 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Regular prompt. A book featuring an older protagonist. Love that for me. All right, so for this one, I'm going with The Collective by Allison Galen. This is a story about a woman whose daughter was killed by a young man who got off lightly for whatever went down, and she is grieving and angry over the scenario, so she gets pulled into a collective group of other grieving mothers who share their stories and their desire for revenge. And then it says here, fueled by mutual rage, the collective members devise and act out retribution fantasies via precise, anonymous, highly coordinated revenge killings. And then there's like a whole morality element to it, because it says our main character struggles to comprehend whether this is a role-playing exercise or terrifying reality. She has to decide if these women are truly avenging angels or monsters. Definitely a darker twist of things, gonna be probably a little bit hard, but also interesting with some strong commentary on morality and like the right things to do and the unjustness of the system. I don't even want to go too far into that because the reality is depressing. Okay, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, too bad I used that move one space. That's a prompt. Reread an author. For this one, I decided to give S.A. Cosby another shot. This is Blacktop Wasteland. I ended up reading Razorblade Tears and absolutely adored it. I reread it a couple of months ago and gave it another 5 stars after enjoying it the first time. And so I'm very interested in reading something else from this author and seeing how I feel about it. For this one, it says that our main character was once the best getaway driver east of the Mississippi. They call him Bogart Bug Montage, and he's never stopped looking over his shoulder. He knows that no matter how long he has been out of the life, no one ever gets out completely. Now Bug is an honest mechanic, a loving husband, and a hard-working dad. Ooh, we've got some themes going on here. When his carefully built new life begins to crumble and a former associate comes calling with a can't-miss jewelry store heist, Bug feels he has no choice but to get back in the driver's seat. Haunted by the ghost of who he used to be and the father who disappeared when he most needed him, Bug must find a way to navigate this blacktop wasteland or die trying. So yeah, I'm really interested. I'm assuming it's going to be like an action movie because I got those vibes from Razorblade Tears. That one also had a character who got out of a life and was desperately trying to have a normal life and not be part of that anymore, but was dragged back into things. And so yeah, I want to see where the similarities are. I want to see if I get into it. Okay, so we have 4 more to go. Okay, 3. We're gonna re-roll that for sure. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too shabby. A book less than 150 pages. All right, the TBR game is playing nice. We got a less than 150 pages. I'm gonna go with the heavy hitter though. I'm actually gonna go for Minor Detail by Adina Shibli. And this is a translated work that focuses on the struggles of life under occupation in Palestine. I've heard really good things about this. I know it will probably be a little bit devastating, but I do definitely want to read it and definitely get different perspectives from all over the world, and obviously in this case, something a little bit more relevant to the times. I'm a little scared, but I'm afraid for my heartstrings. I don't want to get too depressed. My game is being strangely nice to me. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't like that, so we'll use our move to spaces. And we'll 1, 2, slide up here. Much better. Okay. Fun one, blindfold pick. All right, so we got a blindfolded pick. We're gonna go to my messy space and pick from there. We'll see. Okay, so we're standing in front of one of my TBR shelves. This one is an absolute nightmare, and it has a little bit of everything on it. It's also super unorganized. Special editions are kind of somewhere up here, but they also are like organization fell apart on this shelf. So I don't know where anything is, but I do know everything on this shelf specifically I haven't read, and everything on this shelf and over I have. So I'm just gonna try and go in and find something. Wish me luck. Okay, let's do this. All right, then I turn around, so we have shelf here, shelf here. I don't know if all of this is all that necessary. Oh shit, okay. I don't know if I should try and find something behind or in front, or just go for the first thing that I touch. I'm just gonna pick, oh, this. Oops. What is this? Is that a good thing? Oh, it was at the top. I didn't realize. Okay. Is this a good book? What did I get? Oh, we got some horror. Nice. Ay, okay, so for the blindfolded pick, we've got The Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Starling. This is a horror book that I ended up getting from the Illumicrate Evernight Evernight subscription box. This is the October 2023 one, and it says, the city of San Sirico is sinking. The basement belonging to Dr. Tamsin Rivers, the arrogant, selfish head of the research team assigned to find the source, is sinking faster. As Tasman grows obsessed with the distorting dimensions of the room at the bottom of the stairs, she finds a door that didn't exist before, and one night it opens to reveal an exact physical copy of her. This doppelganger is sweet and biddable, where God, I'm not a fan of this name. I'm struggling. Where Tamsin is calculating and cruel. It appears fully, terribly human, passing every test Tamsin can devise. The longer the double exists, the more Tamsin begins to forget. Tamsin must try to hold herself together long enough to figure out what her double wants from her and just where the mysterious door leads to. So I'm super interested in it, although a little worried because I feel like the writing was a little awkward, at least for reading out loud. But yeah, I definitely want to give it a shot. I haven't read any of the Evernight books yet. I think I only have 2 so far, so that's not saying much. Next one. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, a double pull. Finally, something crazy. But we also get a point, and we get one of these. Another, let's re-roll that. Let's pick our 2 prompts. A wild card. Another wild card. I'm here for this, right? We got some fun games. We got some random, but I mean, like, the TBR game is doing some things. I'm going with A Wilderness of Stars by Shay Earnshaw. I have had this on my TBR for ages. It's time to finally pick this up, read it, figure out how I feel about it. Because one says, when all is lost, look to the stars. Vega has lived in the valley her whole life, forbidden by her mother to leave the safety of its borders because of the unknown threats waiting for her in the wilds beyond. But when Vega sees an omen in the sky, one she cannot ignore, she is forced to leave the protective boundaries of the valley. Yet the outside world is much more terrifying than Vega could have ever imagined. People are gravely sick. They lose their eyesight and their hearing just before they lose their lives. But Vega has a secret. She is the last astronomer, a title carried from generation to generation, and she is the only one who understands the knowledge of the stars, knowledge that could hold the key to a cure. So when locals spot the tattoo on Vega's neck in the shape of a constellation, the mark of an astronomer, chaos erupts. Fearing for her life, Vega is rescued by a girl named Cricket who leads her to Noah, a boy marked by his own mysterious tattoos. On the run from the men hunting her, Vega sets out across the plains with Cricket and Noah in search of a fabled cure kept secret by the astronomers. But as the line between friends and protectors begin to blur, Vega must decide whether to safeguard the sacred knowledge of the astronomers or if she will risk everything to try to save them all. So yeah, sounds interesting. Sounds like it's going to be a lot. I don't know what to think, honestly, but it could be cool, so I guess we will see. And then a genre, and which one do we get? 3. Horror. A horror book, yes. All right, love this for me. Gonna be honest though, I do always struggle with the differences between horror, suspense, thriller, all of that. I feel like they all kind of are the same, so this is going to be an all-encompassing category. But I decided to go with There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins because that idea is horrifying. Really, like honestly, imagine someone's just randomly like,
hey, I see you minding your own business in the comfort of your home because I'm there too and I'm not supposed to be.
I don't know, that's scary. So it says, it's been almost a year since Makani Young came to live with her grandmother and she's still adjusting to her new life in rural, I don't know why I struggle with that word so much, but I do. It's just a thing. In rural Nebraska. Then, one by one, the students of her high schools begins to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasing and grotesque flair. Okay. As the body count rises and the terror grows closer, will Makani survive the killer's twisted plan? It's so funny because then underneath that, it ends up promoting her like YA romance series. It's all like, yes, all of these kids are dying and it gets more and more gruesome as time goes on. If you enjoy this, why don't you check out a YA teenage romance series? I don't know if that's entirely true. I never actually read it, but I love the concept. I think it's going to be interesting and it'll be a fun way to mix things up. Plus, Summerween is right around the corner, so maybe this will be one of my Summerween picks. I don't know. I haven't planned because I'm behind on things, so the future will tell. Okay, and possibly our last roll, or not. I was waiting for the double. Okay, so not our last roll. 1, 2, 3, 4 regular prompt. A book published before 2020. Okay, so we've got another one of these date-specific cards. Again, I've replaced these with more generic ones so that it's more flexible, but this actually works because anything before this date, and I ended up going with The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tucholk. I probably butchered that. There is a pen mark on here because it's one of those like discount books, which I discovered not too long ago. The authors don't get any like payment for that, but Then somebody else mentioned that they already did get a semi-payment. They just don't get like the rest for actually selling it because of some reason or other. Anyway, this one was published in 2018, so it works perfectly for this. This one says, trained warriors kill loudly. We kill silently, and that is how you hunt a beast. Frey yearns for a life worthy of saga and song, but she is a boneless mercy, a member of an ancient female sect that has survived the rising and falling of kingdoms. Mercies are death traders, doomed to roam forced land, killing the old and the sick for meager pay. Their methods are quiet, even merciful, yet wherever their work leads them, their daggers inspire unease. Frey and her band of mercies, Ovi, Runa, and Juniper, are wary of the death trade and dream of a bigger life. So when Frey hears that a beast is slaughtering people in a northern jarldom, I don't know what the hell that is. I'm assuming it's like a kingdom, but not. Like a littler kingdom. She decides that slaying the creatures is the Mercy's chance at fame and fortune, even if it means they must align with the reclusive sea witches and face the ruthless cut queen of the Red Willow Marsh. Their success or failure might change the fate of women everywhere. I suck at names so bad. And the more that I do booktube, the worse I feel about it. Like, the more I am butchering people's names, the worse I feel about it. Because I'm just out here just hacking and slashing these poor authors and characters is a problem. But yeah, this sounds fantastical in a very fun and interesting way. And as far as I'm aware, it's a standalone. I could be wrong about that, but I got it because I thought it was, and it's not that long. So if I am right about that, this should be a fun time and I will be very happy. If it is the first in a series, I'm gonna be a little salty. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a little salty if that's the case, because that's not what I was expecting. But hopefully we'll be okay. Okay, possibly our last roll for real this time, or not. Okay, saved it to the end. I was feeling good. I was all like, oh, 2 easy games in a row? Nope. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A regular prompt. Starts with a letter. I actually have a dice for this. Okay, so we will have to re-roll any wilds, and I think those will add to our total. Why not? That might be a terrible idea because there's a bunch of wilds on here. Okay, let's try and do it on screen. A U. A book that starts with a U. Well, damn. Okay, of course we get U, of all things. Gotta go big or go home, I guess. And that's actually not too bad, because I realized that I have Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson, and this is an old Page Habit copy, which means that it comes with these little post-it notes with annotations from the author about, you know, the process of writing and developing the story and stuff, which I love. I was heartbroken when I came back to booktube because I, if you don't know, joined in 2017 on a completely different channel long time ago, and I ended up making videos for a short while before coming back here and doing art stuff. I like canceled all of my book subscription boxes for that time. And then when I came back, I was like, ooh, this was the first box I was gonna like jump on. I was so excited, and then it no longer existed. It was several years later at this point, right? Like I came back in 2021 officially, so you know, several years has passed, but it still breaks my little heart because I love the idea of books annotated by the author who wrote them. Anyway, let's see what this is about. I actually didn't get this when I was subscribed. I got this off of Pango Books after the fact. And this says, meet teenage Wiccan Milla Flores, who truly could not care less what you think about her Doc Martens, her attitude, or her weight, because she knows that no matter what, her BFF Riley is right by her side. So when Riley and Fairmont Academy mean girls June Felon Park and Dayton Nesseth die under suspicious circumstances, Mila refuses to believe everyone's explanation that her best friend was involved in a suicide pact. Instead, armed with a tube of lip gloss and an ancient grimoire, Mila does the unthinkable to uncover the truth. she brings the girls back to life. Unfortunately, Riley, June, and Dayton have no recollection of their murders, but they do have unfinished business to attend to. Now, with only 7 days until the spell wears off and the girls return to their graves, Mila must wrangle the distracted group of undead teens and work fast to discover their murderer before the killer strikes again. That is so cute! I love it! It's like kitschy and adorable and morbid, but it sounds like it's gonna be a fun time. So, yeah, I thought this sounded like it would be interesting. I was right, so I'm excited to get around to checking it out and seeing how I feel about it. Possibly our last one, for real. This time, for reals. Okay, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Regular prompt. A steamy novel. All right, and for this one, we are going to go with Too Wild to Tame by Tessa Bailey. Steamy, I'm assuming, because every other Tessa Bailey, which I've only read 2, but every other Tessa Bailey I've read so far has fit the bill of steam. She throws it in, even when it doesn't fully make sense. Her characters are fantasizing about each other in very steamy ways before they even get together. So if you want some steam, I would suggest giving her a shot, I guess. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It can be a little bit aggressive, if I'm being honest with you, but it's fun. It's a fun time. So I'm excited to check this one out. Obviously, I haven't read it, so I don't know if any of that is going to be true for this one specifically, but what I've read before it was, so probably. We'll see. We'll see. This one says, a buttoned-up businessman and a gorgeous wild child. What happens when opposites definitely attract? By day, Aaron Clarkson suits up, shakes hands, and acts the perfect gentleman, and at night, behind bedroom doors, the tide comes off and the real Aaron comes out to play. But he knows that if he wants to work for the country's most powerful senator, he'll have to keep his eye on the prize. That's easier said than done, though, when he meets the senator's daughter. She's wild, gorgeous, and 100% trouble. Grace Pendleton is the black sheep of her family, yet while Aaron's presence reminds her of a past she'd rather forget, something in his eyes keeps drawing her in. Maybe it's the way his voice turns her molten, or maybe it's because deep down inside, the ultra-smooth, polished Aaron Clarkson might be more than even Grace can handle. I don't know, but maybe it'll be a fun time. I don't even know why I picked this up, because this is my first time reading what it's about, but it sounds interesting, and I've enjoyed her stuff before, so hopefully it's fun. It'll probably be steamy, so we'll be good to go, at least in that regards. And that is officially everything. The TBR game strikes again. It is nice to be back. As you guys know, I have been posting. I'm working on some of the other videos. I am dealing with technical stuff behind the scenes still, but at least we don't have the stupid audio problem. And I'm experimenting with some other stuff for vlogging and fun times. So stick around, because I think things are gonna get exciting around here. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. You guys are amazing. Include some sort of undead emoji, so like a vampire or a zombie, because I feel like there might be a zombie emoji. If there is, include that down below to let me know you made it this far. Happy reading, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, bye! Red Willow March. The wed. Wow!